Hideo Kojima recently took the stage at Tribeca Games Festival alongside Jeff Keighley to talk about a variety of topics regarding movies and games. Many of us were hoping that Kojima would have some substantial details to share at the event about Death Stranding, but as expected, Kojima didn't really share all that much. At this point, I think it's fairly obvious that Kojima's saving the big announcements for the big event, E3 2017. Now, Kojima did share some small tidbits of Death Stranding details in Tribeca Games 2017. Nothing mind-blowing, still very vague stuff, but better than nothing. So I compiled all of the relevant bits of information about Death Stranding from the event, and I compiled it in this one video, so let's dive right into it. One of the first questions that Jeff asked Kojima was about his inclination to use Hollywood actors for his upcoming new game, wondering what they bring to the table to help Kojima tell his story. In response, Kojima said that he wanted something more lively where actors can go on stage and deliver some genuine performances that can make the overall experience better. Kojima talked about how in the past everything would be handmade, including the animations, both body and face, and as a result, all of the performances were artificial and very specific, offering very little nuances. This offered Kojima a great deal of control, but by bringing in professional actors, they can add little nuances to their performances and bring about new ideas that the creator might have never thought about if he had full control over everything. The result, Kojima feels, will be a product that feels more organic and just a better experience. Kojima believes that by implementing these professional actors in a live performance kind of environment, little accidents can happen when some of the control is given to the actors that pave the way for some incredible moments and ideas.
So far, what we created was computer graphics, it was artificial, it was something man-made. When it comes to the animations, I pictured a specific movement and we were trying to trace that movement, and that is not that fun. I wanted something more lively, somewhere where the actors go on stage and do something that I didn't even imagine, and I wanted to have that more lively feeling, and so that's why, because that makes it better. So that's why I started working with this movie actors. In a way, if it's 100% computer graphics, then we can completely do what I imagine, but that's not what I want necessarily. By bringing actors, they do some things that I don't imagine, and that alone makes the project bigger. There's happenings on stage, or different things that happen, and this is what I want, and that's what makes them better.
Moving on, Jeff Keighley asked Kojima if he writes any roles for any specific actors. So for example, was Norman's character written specifically for Norman Reedus? As far as Norman's character goes, Kojima did confirm that he did think of Norman Reedus as the character developed in his mind. Kojima then added that he can't say what Norman's character's name is yet, but talked a bit about how he wanted to present a naked Norman in the teaser trailer so that players can then imagine possible outfits and gear that he might wear throughout the game.
So in this case, Norman, I was definitely thinking of him when creating the character. Then he was about to sleep and say the character's name, but unfortunately he didn't.
I tried.
But for this main character, specifically, in this time, he's writing and specifically thinking about Norman and developing and thinking with him in mind. For the teaser also, where you see Norman naked, that's something that I very specifically had in mind, that I want people to see first a naked Norman, and then from there you'll be able to see him in different costumes, different hairstyles, different equipment, and that's as much as I should say today.
Oh. So will we be wearing clothes in the game? Some part?
ちょっとゲームの中にもちょっと近づいてるってことですかね、今。No.
Kojima didn't go into full detail about what kinds of clothes and outfits we can expect Norman to wear throughout this game, but hey, it looks like it's confirmation that we won't be seeing Norman naked for the whole game, so that's good. Now, interestingly enough, when Jeff asked Kojima directly, oh, so it's confirmed that Norman will be wearing clothes throughout the game, Kojima just kind of smiled and then moved on, so, you know, whatever that means. Finally, for Death Stranding related information, Jeff asked Kojima about the current state of the game's development. And Kojima didn't have much to share beyond his usual vague responses. He said that the game is moving along well on the PS4, that there is a plot, they're working with the Decima game engine to do tests for different game systems, characters, environments, and more. An interesting analogy that Kojima gave is that if Norman is walking around New York, they know things like what restaurants he's gonna visit, the things that Norman's gonna order in these restaurants, but things like the decor of the restaurants, the tables that they're gonna use, and specific details like that are things that they're still fleshing out. Kojima then emphasized that Death Stranding does not take place in New York, that he's just using this as an example.
Let's say Norman, the character, is just walking in New York. It's not in New York, by the way, the game is not set in New York, just as an example. But we're trying to see if what we can depict with the sim engine actually looks like New York, if the scale is correct, and if it feels good there. And let's say the character goes in an Italian restaurant. Who the character meets going into the restaurant, what he will be eating, all those details are decided, are set. What we're working right now is what kind of table will be there, what will be the specific dialogues that will be there, what is going to be the specific menu in this restaurant. Those details are the things that we're tuning right now.
Basically, the basic framework of the game, the narrative, the gameplay, that's there, and now it's about figuring out all of the details. It looks like they got a lot of the pre-production stuff out of the way, and now it's about creating the game and bringing everything to life, fleshing things out, testing out systems and whatnot. Not sure if Kojima's gonna get this game done by the end of 2018, which is the release window that Kojima hinted at by saying that it would be before Ghost in the Shell and whatnot, but the game's progressing and that's good. As far as Death Stranding specific details go, that's pretty much all the information Kojima had to share from Tribeca Games Festival 2017. If you're disappointed, A, you should have expected this, and B, don't worry because E3 2017 is right around the corner, like a month and a half away. Do expect a new trailer and tons of new details then. In the meantime, to be further updated on all things Death Stranding, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.